Whoops, sorry about that. Hello, everybody.
All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to the show tonight. On the show tonight, we're going to be talking about some new Doordash zones, possibly. We're not sure. Uber shows us some ads in the app, and you're going to be able to rent your car out through Uber. And unless you're severely intoxicated, you probably noticed that I am not Jason. And he's taking a well deserved break tonight. And I have the honor and privilege of hosting tonight with my friend Jesper. We're going to have a good
L-
show tonight, and just want to say thanks to both of those guys for having me on the show tonight.
Absolutely no problem. It is awesome that you can just step in on such a late notice, if you will. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I always have such a blast when I get to be on here. If you do enjoy the show, if you would not mind, please take a few moments to rate and review the show either on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And if you're watching live tonight on Facebook, you can give the show stars and rewards. And if you're watching on YouTube, know that you can join the channel, and that gives you some perks and also helps you support the podcast.
I actually think that we got one new review last week on Apple Podcast. So thank you for that. That was pretty exciting stuff.
That's always exciting to get a
People
review.
really liked about it, and they say they even learned a few things. So hey, that's the reason why therefore we are doing it. So thank you so much for that. Obviously, you can always go to the gigeconomyshow.com to sign up to see the new website. Oh, it's not new anymore, but to see the website, and then sign up for the newsletter to get notified whenever a new show hits one of the hits channels. And obviously now we have both the regular show and we have the B side,
The
which
B side.
yeah, the B side. We used to be only every other week, and now we're on every week. So if you really have nothing else to do, you come listen to to our shows, listen to us talking for about an hour. So that's always fun to do. And then, obviously, if you love us so much, you simply do not know what else to do with your money. We ask that you will please think about us and think about our Patreon and maybe support us. If you
Definitely.
go to
You
patreon.com/the Geekon podcast, then you can kind of listen. You can support us there with either our small package or the big package with the $10 a month. And what do we call it now again? It's the unicorn ride. That's what we
the
call it. And
unicorn. The
the
unicorn.
unicorn, which used to be a term for some of the olders or some people who've been in the industry for a while. Whenever we had a ride that was more than $100, we used to call them a unicorn ride. So that's where that term is coming from. And with that, $10 a month. After a couple months, 3 months, I believe it is, you get merch and some other cool facts. You get to listen into the pre-banter of the show, and you also get to listen to the episodes without ads, specifically from the Patreon account. So that's pretty cool. Thank you so much to our Patreons, Larry, which you can see here's my better half today. We have Samson from Grand Rapids, we have Steve from Colorado, we have Chris from Grand Rapids, we have Bud Dickman from North Carolina, Tom Kelly from Houston, Omar from Detroit, Lynchy from Santa Clara, California, and Delivery Cats from Michigan. So thank you so much. And we really couldn't do this without you guys. So really appreciate you. Oh, I was supposed to do an ad for. I did the ad for spot already. So let's go sign up for the Patreon.
Yes, definitely.
Patreon.com
Patreon. Get you some cool merch like this
on
hat,
podcast. Yeah,
like this shirt right here. Right here. Gig
there you go.
Economy
Thank you so
Podcast.
much.
There you go.
We are working on new merch coming as well. So we're always doing fun new stuff. Obviously, talk about if when you're done supporting our Patreon, come talk to any of us at our Telegram group. That you can see the link below in the show notes, and find us there. And you gotta download the app first, Telegram of the app stores, and then you can kind of click on the link and you can come into us. And think right now, how many do we have? Just
Oh gosh.
close to 40 people in the group right now.
Yeah, we need some new blood. We definitely
We
need some new blood, though.
absolutely. I've not been out driving for more than a month so far, and so unfortunately, when I'm not driving, I'm just have too much stuff going on, so I don't get to spend much
Right.
time in the group, unfortunately. But I really do need to get in there. So lots of good stuff going on. It is the main reason as to why I'm still driving today. I can tell you
Yeah.
that.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
It's
have
not
it.
so lonely out there when you got some people you can chat with and bounce ideas and vent and bitch and moan and all that fun stuff.
Bits and moan. There we go. So, of course, lastly, here talk about the B side. Last week we had a very exciting episode of the B side land, and I,
Great
of course,
episode.
cannot, I cannot remember it right now, but it was exciting. I can guarantee you, and I want you all to go listen to it. So there you go.
For
Hey,
sure.
Larry, any stories from the road? Because I don't have any because I
Oh,
have
I
not
got a
been
couple
driving.
here. I got a couple that are somewhat related. So, a couple weeks ago, picked up a lady in the morning, about 10 o'clock in the morning. She's probably in her 40s. And she's like, wait a minute, I need to find out if I can get a ride back before I go over, because she was going across town. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then she's like, fine, never mind, just take me to the Mint. Well, the Mint is our gaming hall. It's not a casino, but it's all slot machines is basically what it is. So they call them historical race machines, but they're slot machines. So anyway, drop her off. She tipped me $10 for like a 2 mile ride. So that was really nice. And then dropped her off, and then another passenger got in. I took him out to the outskirts of town, and when he was getting out, I just happened to look in the back seat and saw a little change purse sitting in there. I didn't figure it was his, but I asked him anyway, and he's like, no, that's not mine. It was here when I got in. So it's obviously the lady at the Mint. So I figure I'm going to look in, see if there's a driver's license, some kind of ID or anything. So open it up. There's $800 and a little bag of meth. So I'm like, man, oh my goodness. So I start heading back toward the Mint, and this lady, I'm about 2 minutes away, and she calls me, and she's frantic, which I can see, because I mean,
Right.
if I was a bad guy, I'd just steal it. And what are you gonna do? Call the police and, hey, this guy stole my $800 and my meth. So anyway, and I'm like, she's like, oh, I think I left something in your car. I'm like, yeah, she's just going almost in tears. I'm like, just chill out. I've got your stuff. I'll be there in a minute. So I pull up, and she comes out, and I give it to her. I'm like, look, I looked in there to see if there's an ID. I didn't touch your money. I didn't touch your drugs. Like, but you need to get off that shit, because it's going to kill you. And she's like, she's half crying. I'm trying. I know it's not good. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So fast forward to 2 days later, I'm working on Saturday night, get a call about, I don't know, right around bar close.
Okay.
1:45, 2 o'clock in the morning. And, pick up a guy he's like Cambodian maybe, or Vietnamese. I'm not sure, but he spells his name Thang, so Thang, pretty much.
Thang, yeah.
And so pick him up, and he's going to the neighboring county, which is about 30 minutes from us.
Okay.
So we're about halfway there. He doesn't speak great English, but he managed to relate to me that he's going to need me to bring him back too. I'm like, well, that's great, because I got to drive back anyway. Might as well get paid for it,
Right. Yep.
So we get to this house. We're out in the boonies. I mean, this is a very rural town, very small town, and just a very rural area. And we get there, and we pull up to this house. A guy walks out and comes talk to my passenger, and the guy's like, "Hey, we're gonna have to run down the street just a little bit." And so I look at my passenger. I'm like, "Are you cool with that? You're paying for the ride." And he's like, "Yes." So the guy gets in, and we pull out, and immediately it becomes very apparent that this guy is the middleman of the drug deal that is going down.
Oh.
So he's like, yeah, we're gonna have to go down here a little bit. And then he's bragging about so he asked my guy, he's like, so how much you want? He's like, 200. No, I need $200 worth. And so the guy's bragging about how he's been doing this for 8 years. He's never been arrested, and this and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, you do see there's a dash cam like right here.
Right.
And so then he talks about his day job is, get this, the dude is a nanny for 5 kids. And he's a middleman for a drug dealer. So this is perfect.
Oh.
So his down the road ends up being 50 miles over into the next county, Ohio County.
Right.
So we get to the drug dealer's house, and it's got the rebel flag. It's got motorcycles everywhere.
Wonderful.
It's 3 a.m. There's people milling around. And I'm thinking, in my mind, the reason you have a middleman is so the dealer's insulated.
Right.
Why are we showing up at the dealer's house?
Right.
So anyway, dude goes in, like he's in there for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, this is getting ready to go sideways. But eventually he comes back out, and he's like, all right, I got it for you. And so we drive back to his house. And like when we get back to his house, he starts hitting up my passenger, trying to get him to give him a rock of this meth. He's like, hey, Yeah, you don't really need all that. You can give me some, can't you? He's like, I really want to get high, man, but I don't have no money. And my guy's like, nope, I need it all. And I'm like, here's where it's getting ready to get bad. But he's like, okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. So he gets out. and while we were driving, the funniest thing, or one of the funny things, is the middleman guy. He asked my passenger. He's like, what happened to that job were you working at Delta? Which there's a factory there called Delta Faucets.
Okay. Yeah.
And the passenger's like, oh, I still work there. Well, my sister is the HR director at this factory. So I give her a call the next day. I'm like, do you have somebody that works for you that spells his name Thang? And she's like, oh yeah. I'm like, well, just so you know, I took him to about $200 worth of meth last night. And she's like, well, how do you know? I was like, I was right in the middle of it. I was right there for it all. So then I was telling my brother about it the next day, because the next day was Memorial Day.
Right.
And he's a former police officer. And so he put me in touch with the buddy of his who's on the drug task force. So that's all getting investigated. Because my camera, my dash cam has the GPS built in. So it gives you latitude, longitude of their house. I mean, exactly. And
well, it's good. We gotta get that cleaned up, right?
Yeah. So I want at least like a junior policeman badge out of it or something.
Hey, you get the knowledge of knowing you get some bad people off the roads.
Yeah,
off the street.
Definitely. So now my wife, her mom joke instead of a dad joke. Every time I go out now, she's like, "All right, now don't you be out there messing around. Don't be out there messing around." I was like, "That's a good one, hon. That's a good one."
Oh, that is good. That needs to be our new line. Don't be out there messing around.
Exactly.
So,
oh goodness.
Anyway, so that's good. Again, obviously, I'm still not driving. Uber is still taking a good old time with my background check. I promise it is fine. Everybody out there listening, it is fine. My driving record came back clean. That was
you're almost off parole. You're almost off parole, right? It's any day now.
I was worried about the driving record, but no, that's good. So, but no, the background check is delayed, and it is because of this new wonderful law in Michigan. So I guess we'll have to see. But I'm hoping to be out driving for Lyft this coming weekend, but we'll have to see about that one. So that's that. But here's the gig economy in the news.
Gig economy in the news. All right. The first thing we're going to be talking about tonight is Lyft drivers are earning more pay. At least that's what Lyft is telling us. And anybody who drives for Lyft, we'd love for you to chime in and let us know if you've seen any of this. But the two guys who started Lyft, they bowed out. They're out of the picture now. And so we got this new guy, David Rishner, who took over the reins, used to work for Amazon. And he's saying that the driver and rider experience is his top priority. So he'll be competitive with Uber. And so they said they've adjusted the upfront pay. And they put out a figure that says Lyft drivers averaged over $35 in hourly earnings during the first 3 months of the year. I don't know if I believe that. I know I don't average $35. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have supposedly they've adjusted like for long rides. And that's when they did the upfront pricing, that's where I saw the big hit was on the longer rides.
Yeah.
You just didn't get what you used to. I know we used to make $95 if we picked up somebody in Bowling Green and we took them to the Nashville airport, which is about an hour and 10 minutes. And as soon as they did the upfront pricing, the first request I got on Lyft to take someone to Nashville airport, I think they offered me $62, which I did not accept.
No, that's not good.
And I think it went up to 70 something. And then I think the last one I got was about 89. It was very close to what it used to be. So I do believe that they have adjusted those, which is good. Because as me and you were talking earlier, I mentioned the Lyft demand here has dropped off, I think, significantly in the last few months. Yep. So they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to do something to keep going.
It'll be interesting to see how, again, I haven't driven for Lyft in over 3 years.
Right.
And so it'll be interesting to see just how bad it is here in Grand Rapids. I mean, I go on the app once in a while just to kind of look at it. And I mean, I see the colored areas. So which is the Lyft search, right?
Yeah, we've never had Lyft search here. No, I mean seriously, we don't. There, I don't. I've
Okay.
never seen. Like, I don't think a pink, anything on the screen on Lyft here. If I go to Nashville, I'll see it, but not
Okay.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, so no, it becomes pink and purple and everything. So
Mhm.
they're there, but I don't know how much you actually make on them. I mean, let's be honest. When I drove Uber, or when I do drive Uber,
Mm.
and when I'm Comfort and Excel only,
Right.
I do usually
Right.
average $45 an hour when I drive.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
I should say 40, closer
Yeah.
to $40 an hour when I do the weekends. But again, it's the weekend, it's night shift.
Sure.
It's
It's
those
prime
are
time. Yeah. I mean prime time.
exactly, it's prime time.
Yeah.
So
For
we'll
sure.
have to see. I haven't even decided if I want to go out this weekend, to be honest. I have so many other things going on in my life right now, but we'll see. So anyways, the next story going on right now is an article in from Stanford. A man from Stanford stole $1 million in a scheme targeting 700 DoorDash drivers. Since this is really the scheme that I think it talks about the story that we all kind of hear, and kind of have. It's been going around for a long time,
Mhm.
not to fall for it, right? But this is
Mhm.
basically the guy doing one of the schemes about he would order DoorDash to an area close to let's see what is hang on. So um he would impersonate DoorDash support and notify. So you order a driver order
Mhm.
a DoorDash order to be delivered to an address,
Yeah.
and not close to him or whatever, not
Right.
the
And
actual
then he would
order.
text the driver.
Exactly, and then he would be close to where they were,
Mhm.
and then he would call the driver, impersonating DoorDash support, and then he would text for verification, and part of that text would be a link for them to log into support, if you will. But
Yeah.
that's how he would really get their username and password,
Mhm.
and immediately he would log in, change the information, and cash out essentially,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And we know the scheme; it's been going on for a long time. But this is interesting because it's actually a guy who got caught and is now on trial for stealing nearly $1 million from 700 DoorDash drivers. So that's kind of cool. It's good to know that that he's going to be put to justice, if you will, and um, hopefully the systems, Lyft and Uber and DoorDash and all the gig economy will learn from these things, and we'll put some other things in place so it's not so
Right.
easy to just do that. I know that was it Uber that introduced there's a waiting period once you change the bank account on the account, right?
Mhm.
They don't do it immediately. They wait like 4 to 8 hours before it's done.
Yeah. Yeah. The
With
sad thing about this story, though, Jesper, is that I read all the way at the end of it. He he didn't even get caught for this though. He was getting
oh
investigated for
yes,
domestic abuse, and
yep,
they ran. They searched his house. They found all these safes, and when they opened them
correct.
up, they found all this information about this scam he was running, and they found like $500,000 in cash. So
No,
it's like,
true.
yeah, it's not like
It was
DoorDash's support is the one that caught this, or
right. It's pure luck, and
it was
that
pure
is correct.
luck.
And thank you for bringing that up. But yes, I'm just happy that they did catch him. But you're
Oh
right. It's
yeah, for
not.
sure.
It's not. That's not why he was caught. He was just being stupid. I mean,
Yes,
essentially, he decided that
exactly.
he wanted to yeah, exactly, do a domestic abuse, right? Which
Mhm.
is never good either. But at least he's off the streets, and hopefully, a lot of drivers will learn that they will not call. I actually had an interesting thing happen to me the other day,
Oh yeah.
and I actually had Uber call me,
Okay.
which is interesting because we all know Uber will not call you, right? They
Oh
say that
yeah.
Uber support will not call you, and so this was Uber support
Mhm.
because they immediately follow up with a ticket because I said I'm not comfortable telling
Right.
you my information over the phone. I'm just not.
Right.
Uber, and he said, no, that's fine. Are
Yeah.
you okay following up and keeping following up, and we'll just do it as a support ticket to
Okay.
the system. That's 100% fine.
Okay. Well,
But
what were
he
they calling you
called me.
about?
So, but the background check,
Uh,
he wanted to tell me that right now they had actually completely suspended my account because they're waiting for the background checks, and I can't even do delivery, right?
hey, Jesper, we just want to tell you that you for sure can't drive now.
Yeah,
Just to think in case you were considering it this weekend. Hell no, it's not happening.
Thank you so much for supporting Uber, but you're not driving.
Exactly. We do not want you.
But
Yeah,
I thought
the only other thing that I've ever had Uber call me about is they'll call if you're sitting somewhere for a long time, and they will call and check and see if you're okay sometimes. Not every time. Sometimes it just pops on the screen.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the interesting to me was it came up as Uber support, right? And I picked it up and okay, what I've always you always been told Uber support will not call you.
Right.
But the cool thing is they know this, and he's like, no, that's fine. Are you okay? Continue the conversation offline in the app. That I'm good doing it, but I'm not going to give you my information.
Right, not giving you anything because
I know.
You should already have all that. But yeah, I mean, it is so easy to fall for some of that stuff. I mean, I had one just the other day, and it was something about I think it was like my Google storage or something, and popped up, and I almost clicked on it, and then I looked and I was like, this is not from them,
Right. Yep.
But I almost clicked out because you're driving, you're busy, you're doing this and that, and something pops up, and you're like, oh man, I want to make sure stuff's getting backed up, and it's it can happen to the best of us for sure.
Absolutely. So anyways, here's the next story about the support here. Will you take that one?
Oh yeah, this is another outstanding example of support here. So this guy contacts DoorDash basically because the driver that had his order apparently just came by and flung it out the window. And so DoorDash is like, I can offer you a refund, and you can tell this has got to be. I mean, I almost think this is AI responding here. You're like, surely this is not a real person. Because I can offer you a refund of $5, and DoorDash credits are back to your payment method for the poorly packaged items. And the guy's like, "What? Are you for real? It cost $20 and something, and I got nothing." He literally passed my house and threw the food in the road as he was driving. And the response from support is, have you received the food? He said, it's in the road where he threw it as he passed my street. No, I don't have it. It's spread out across the road where he threw it. So their answer again, although we encourage Dashers to wait a few minutes, we allow them to customize their own delivery experience. So this apparently is a customized delivery experience, no extra charge.
No extra charge. You're welcome. You're lucky. Yeah.
You got the enhanced experience.
What I want to know is, how do you get a picture of that as you threw it as well?
Exactly, like in the air, that would be tough. But well, they do have the little thing that says "deliver without a picture." I guess. But, I would be so infuriated if that was the response I was getting back from support.
Absolutely. I bet. I mean, I would have followed up with yet another support to get back to them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because you're like, this guy's not reading it, or he doesn't understand what I'm saying. It's not his language, or like I said, this is a chat bot, and they're just throwing back what they think it's supposed to be.
Right.
Made no sense.
That definitely does not make any sense.
Did not order my DoorDash delivered by airmail.
So this next story is about how Uber is going to start showing video ads in all their apps. For a while, I guess they've been doing it for Uber, on the Uber Eats app, and so now they're going to be doing it in all their apps. So basically, they're saying that Uber will soon start displaying video ads in its app. They'll appear while you wait for a ride to show up and while you're in transit. After you place orders in Uber Eats and in search results and other parts of Drizzly, the company told Wall Street Journal. So I guess they've been doing it for Uber Eats for a little bit, and so now the static ads have been shown in Uber Eats. Sorry, not video. Static ads have been shown in Uber Eats since 2019, and basically, this is crazy. They're on course to clear $1 billion in ad revenue for 2024. Okay?
Well, I mean, that is an amazing number, but you got to think how many I mean, how many customers they have around the world?
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
mean, just
So they
think
say,
in India. I mean,
oh, I
India
know.
alone. I know they recently passed China as the most populous country, and
Yep.
I
It
think Uber's what 50 something countries. I think maybe.
something. And you gotta remember too that in most of the other countries, India and China, whatever, they have like 5.7 cell phones per inhabitant or
Right.
something stupid. I mean, they have more cell phones than anything.
Yeah.
And so
Oh
that's
yeah.
why they do all that's why they do all their service, right? So
Yeah. All their business is done on
I
there.
know. So the video ads in the apps will be muted by default. Audio will play on tablets that are in cars and will run for up to 90 seconds. An Uber ride lasts around 15 minutes on average, and users typically spend between 2 and 3 minutes looking at the app during trips. We have 2 minutes of your attention. We know where you are, we know where you're going, we know what you're eating, and so forth. We can use all that to then basically target a video ad towards you. And it's true, right? I mean, this is
For sure. Yeah, it will
extremely
be very
targeted
targeted.
advertising right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
My question though is, are you gonna watch it? I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
my phone is in my pocket. I mean, I know. I
yeah.
mean, obviously they see it, and that's what people are doing. And
Sure.
again, when I look back, people are using and they are using their phones, but are they on the Uber ad? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, when I'm and you're, I mean, it's on the passenger app. So, um, yeah. I mean, when I'm taking an Uber ride, I mean,
Right?
I'm not necessarily going to be looking at my phone. I mean,
No.
maybe I think that you'll see them. When you're waiting for the driver to get there.
Yep.
That's the prime time to have them because you're constantly looking and checking to see how far away they are and things like that. But when I'm in the middle of a ride, I don't see. I really don't see
No.
using them.
No, actually, you did you did specify that it's obviously only on the rider ad, not the
Right.
driver app, which is totally obviously good.
Yeah.
That made me think of one thing I saw today. Actually, it was a video talking about a new law that's actually becoming that's uh, I think 6:30, like June 30th
Oh, the
this
hands
month.
free.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's just in Michigan so far, but it is already in several other states as well. But in Michigan now, it's completely hands free. So it is illegal to carry your hand your phone in your hand now while you're
Right.
driving. And
Yeah.
good, it
Yeah.
should be.
Yes.
But even so much as you can't even touch the phone to change the music on something.
Right.
You know, if you're stopping, you can't pick up the phone and check anything or send a text. No, this is illegal.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's long. It's needed. But definitely, I mean, even us as drivers, we need to be more aware of when are we. I mean, how are we going to be accepting a ride? Technically, we can't.
Right.
Now we don't have the phone in our hand, but
Right.
that's a very gray area, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that law's been in place in Tennessee for a year or two.
Okay.
And I always have to remember that because we're like 20 miles from the Tennessee state line here. So when I
Right.
go over into Tennessee, I always have to be very cognizant of the fact I can't be holding my phone in my hand because they will pull you over and they will give you a ticket. I mean, I've
But
seen it.
you have a holder for your phone though, right?
I do, of course, yeah, of course,
Yeah.
yeah. And if anybody that's driving any
Right.
gig work, definitely number one thing you need is a phone holder. You don't want to be
Yeah.
driving around. I don't care if you're doing
No,
food
no, no.
delivery or
And
doing
yet I still
passengers.
see it most time I take an Uber. I
Mhm.
see people just holding that stupid phone in their hands.
Yeah.
It's
Do you
like,
say anything to them? I
I
do.
do. No, I
Yeah.
do. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
said you
I
need to get it.
definitely do.
And I give them less of a rating.
Mhm.
Like you need
Yeah.
to get a hold of that phone.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I mean,
mean,
I'm
no.
I'm nice about it, not
Well,
trying to
yeah.
be mean about it, but yeah, just it makes me uncomfortable. Somebody even doing that
Yep.
for
But
sure. I mean,
yes, I
we
saw that today it's going to be in Michigan here at
yeah,
6:30, and
yep,
so it'll be interesting to see what comes out. And I mean, I'm almost hoping that it'll kind of. I mean, if nothing else, at least get all the drivers out there driving, get them to buy a phone
yeah,
holder because there's still way too many
yeah,
people.
yeah. I wish one day and that Uber and Lyft. I know they have obviously Lyft it auto accepts your rides already. Um,
Right.
In some places you have that option on Uber as well, but I wish that you could do it by voice command. So it would pop up and you would still be able to say accept or deny. voice controlled.
But don't you think that's next now, as these laws are getting
Yeah.
spread out more?
That's
I
what
think
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's got to be on
Yep.
the horizon somewhere for these
Oh yeah.
companies.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
it's coming definitely. So
Another part of that story that I wanted to touch on, it says in there that that Uber is going to be placing tablets in cars starting out in some states. I'm wondering how that's going to roll out, how that's going to affect, like, I think Octopus, you're not supposed to have any other tablet in your car or any other
right.
advertising and things like that. Is Uber going to make you put it in your car, or is it going to be an optional thing?
I mean, I don't
Are we
know.
going to get
Well,
compensated for it?
it's gonna be in some markets only, I'm sure.
To start out, to start out
Yeah.
for sure. I'm sure it'll be in
But
the
I
big
mean,
markets to start out, but
if they're gonna start requiring it, that also means they're gonna have to pay for it. I
yeah.
mean,
Well,
I'm
yeah.
not big. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
gonna let them
I'm definitely
put it.
not paying for anything either, but yeah, I
No,
mean,
yeah.
and unless they compensate me better than Octopus does, I'm keeping my Octopus tablet. I'm up for the highest bidder, guys. That's the way it works.
Absolutely. On that, do you want to do let's talk about the app, the Octopus tablet real
Sure,
quick?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you
I've
have
had
one. You have
uh-huh.
one, and why don't you talk a little bit about your tablet?
Definitely, yeah. I've had it for about probably 6 to 8 weeks now, and most passengers really love it. Like during the daytime, I definitely keep the volume muted because just the daytime people, a lot of times you're taking them to work, they're just not as much into it. But it's the nighttime people especially love it. There's nothing more fun than getting like 3 half drunk people fighting over trivia in the backseat of your car. It's hilarious. They're yelling at each other. No, I told you that wasn't the right answer, and they're trying to beat each other, the score and everything. It's a lot of fun. And I have to give props. Octopus has been great. I had a guy tear the cable one night. It broke off the
Okay.
end inside there. I reported it. 3 days later, I had a new cable for free. Didn't have to pay for it.
Nice.
They compensate us for recommending people. You get $25 for any driver that you recommend that signs up and does some rides. I think I've made $150 so far off my Octopus tablet, and you don't do anything. It's just
Right.
there. It's not like you have to take care of it. I just leave mine. I have it plugged in. I just leave it in the car. Some people turn theirs off every night. I don't. I just leave it running. It goes to sleep. If you've been setting for a little bit, it'll go into sleep mode.
Yep.
In the morning when I'm getting ready to drive, I just touch the tablet, make sure it comes on, and ready to go.
There we go. So yeah, you can use the link to sign up for it, which is in the show notes. Otherwise, you just go to playoctopus.com. I must say that the troubles that I have had trying to get one, unfortunately, is actually my own problem. I hate to say it is my own problem. Apparently, early on, while they were still playing with it, I must have somehow said no. I do not want text from them. So I have inadvertently blocked my own phone numbers. I'm actually working on getting another one of my phone numbers in the house signed up for it. So I anticipate having a tablet fairly soon. But yeah, that is the unfortunately I have to report user error on that one. But they have been pretty good with me, and they're definitely trying with it.
They're a good company. They're a really good company.
So, yeah.
And just want to give a shout out to everybody. I just see in the chat. Janet, I want to say hi to, and Ben, want to say hi to. Just read his comment. I am definitely not the drug dealer. This is our this is our summer home. It's not. I wouldn't live here full time, but for the summer it's okay. It's all right. But yeah,
It's
thanks
all
for
right.
everybody who's on the show tonight. We really appreciate you guys and all the comments that you're putting in, and for watching the show and supporting the show.
Supporting us without Jason tonight. So thank you for sticking with us. So hey, do you want to talk about this the new feature that's coming to Uber soon?
Yes, a new feature that Uber has announced. You're going to be able to rent out your car on Uber. So some of you may be familiar with Turo or similar other programs that are out there, but Uber's gonna have a program called Uber Car Share. It's going to launch here in North America pretty soon. They're going to start it out in Boston and Toronto. So if you have a car that maybe you have an extra car, or you work from home, like a lot of people do nowadays, and you don't need to use your car every day, you can set it up and set your own daily or your hourly pricing and availability. And it's in 15-minute increments. and you can rent your car out and make some money. And it says, there's insurance options that will be available through Uber. Again, a lot of people have tried this out. I know Jason rented a car through Turo when he was down in Orlando.
He rented a Tesla.
He did rent a Tesla. He did rent a Tesla. I wasn't going to give him that props, but but I know he enjoyed it.
It sold him on the electric cars, so he went and ordered one of those. So yeah.
So, I don't think I'm still quite ready for that, but I don't have solar panels like he does. So
so he's doing pretty well on those panels, actually. He's telling me that this is crazy stuff. He's making bank.
Yeah, so, it's something to look into. I was reading. I know they're increasing like some of the kickback you get from the government now to try to make it more affordable or more of an incentive to do. But
I think in Michigan,
go ahead.
I was going to say in Michigan right now, I think the savings or the what's it called, the tax deduction is $14,000. So
yeah. I think the government's bumped it to like 30. I think that's what I read.
The federal.
I think I'll have to look that up for sure. Don't quote me on that. But I know I was reading something that they have increased it. They said they have increased it here recently because they're trying to get more people, heading in that direction.
Interesting. I actually I did a just kind of an online conversation with online, sorry, and a voice conversation with somebody. And he went to Google and kind of took a snapshot of my house, and he did an aerial analysis of my roof, and decided that if I took down 2 of my trees, I would have 94% coverage on my roof. So
really,
I probably have to take down 2 of my trees before I go that route. But I want those trees gone anyway. So
sure.
it's all interesting. So anyway, so here's a fun story from Doordash as we jump back into the news. So hand it to me. He was not lying. Hello, this will sound insane and absolutely no hard feelings if you decline this request. I am currently locked inside the gates of my storage unit. I haven't eaten dinner, so getting food is priority 1. But if you have access to a ladder and want to bring it to me along with my order in order to climb out of the fence and Uber home, I'll throw you $20 cash. Again, feel free to decline this order or just bring the food. No worries either way. Thank you.
Man, I could make bank on this. You could bring him food, then you could Uber him home and bring him the ladder on top of it and make another $20. Man, you could be done for the day just on this one guy.
Can you imagine? How do you get stuck inside your store?
Well, if you get inside there and you don't know the code to get out, you're stuck. Because I dropped some people off not too long ago. It was a lady and her child. They were probably like 11 or 12 years old. And I don't know what they were doing, but I took them to the very back of this storage place. And when I got back up to the front, I realized I don't remember what the code was. I had to drive back to them and get the code so I could get out.
Don't auto open.
No, they do not. They have a keypad on both sides.
That's dumb. I mean, I'm sorry. But
some of the I've been in 3 recently in the last 3 months, and every one of them had a keypad on each side.
So be careful. So when you go into if you go into some of those areas as a rideshare driver, make sure you get that you know the code to get out.
Exactly.
So, I mean, there's lots of what's it called, like gated communities here in Grand Rapids, and all the gates open up automatically when you leave. Why not do the same on those?
That makes way too much sense. That's why they don't do it. I don't understand either, because that's what I never thought of it. It had been a while since I'd been in one, and they were they were as far back into this storage place as you could get. They were on like the last unit. So I dropped them off there and drove back up, and I was like, I thought I remembered it, but I didn't. I wasn't getting it right. I was off one number. So I drove all the way back there. I was like, hey, I need to get that, that code again.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long they were staying there or how they were getting home or anything else, but they were looking through the storage unit for a while. But yeah, I had to go get it and come back and put it back in. And then it, like 2 days later, I picked up a guy who was at a storage place and I had to have the code to get in and out. So. Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Pretty common.
I've never actually been into a storage gated storage facility, but yeah, I guess so. So this next video here is specifically about Amazon. Do you guys have the new vehicles yet in your market?
I haven't seen any of those new ones that are in the video.
Okay.
It's been, I don't know, it's been a couple of weeks probably since I've seen one or paid attention to it. But
Yeah.
we get so much Amazon stuff. I'll just look on our camera sometimes.
we definitely see them a lot in our area.
Yeah.
We have
new
some
ones?
pretty big, the new ones. We
Okay.
have some pretty big facilities. I happened to talk to one of the drivers one day, and
Mhm.
he said most of the vehicles now are the new ones at their
Okay.
at his facility. So they must
Okay.
have several hundreds at least here in Grand Rapids. So, but
Well,
anyway,
just be careful if you're behind them.
Yeah, I know. Let's watch this video here real quick.
Amazon, you have a major fault with your new vehicles, and I've been waiting to catch it on camera. Now, if you notice, most of your drivers drive around with the hazards on, which makes complete sense because they're frequently making stops. Problem. I'm gonna help him back out of here. But the major issue is, you see the hazards are on, but he's also on his brake lights, and you can't see the brake lights when the hazards are on. I'll show you when he goes down the road here. No problem, have a good one. Now watch, as he pulls up to the car, he's gonna need to brake. And no brake lights. Lack of a third brake light on that thing is severely dangerous, and I hope this gets to the right people. Amazon, you have a major...
That is that just sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
That is so crazy. I didn't even think of it. I did notice that the hazards, basically the particularly on the front lights, they blink up. Yeah, they're yellow, right? So the hazards are yellow, and so that was very interesting. I thought it was an interesting way how they introduced that, but it is correct. The fact that nobody caught you cannot see the brake light, that is not.
Yeah,
that
you
is
wonder
not
how it gets
interesting.
through engineering and
I know.
review and manufacturing and all that with nobody noticing that. It kind of blows your mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's not good. So why don't you text? Let's see. We're gonna skip that one. So we're gonna go right into the ad for Gary here.
All right.
So Middleton Tech, one of the apps that we use a lot as drivers here is the Flex Alert, or the, I forget the names of the apps actually. Maybe you can help out here.
I do not have the Android phone, so I do not have.
Oh,
Gary's
that's right.
apps.
Gary's apps are only for Android. But if you go to garysapps.com, you can see the three apps. They are apps that is going to help you pick the right rides. One is Flex Alert that kind of tell you whenever Amazon Flex posts some new routes, and the other two, I forget the name of it. I'm sorry, guys, but anyways, they will help you pick the right ride. Huh? Maximo, yep, Driver Maximo, and then there's another one. But anyways,
Driver Utility Helper is the other one.
Now we're getting people are helping us. Thank you guys so much. The Driver Utility Helper and Maximo, which will help you pick the right rides, and thank you, Dan, to the rescue. Help you pick the right rides and pick the right orders for delivery. So thank you for that. You should definitely go to garysapps.com and download those apps right away. So that's that. Why don't we do this next video here again? Okay. Which is a crazy video. And do you want to talk a little bit about it first?
We're doing the cat
play. Should we just play it?
Yeah, let's play it, and we'll talk about it.
Talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yep.
Caught on camera, a kitten stolen off a front porch, and the person accused of taking the animal is a Grubhub delivery driver. KENS 5's Alisa Nieves has the reaction from the kitten's owner.
And they said, "Oh, by the way, the driver took your kitten." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?"
Amanda Scoggins couldn't believe her eyes.
I like looked over at them, and sure enough, there was 1, 2, and no 3.
Shortly after her Panera was delivered last night, her neighbor's security camera captured this: a person scooping up one of her 3 kittens, then walking away.
The mother's feral, so we can't exactly bring her inside. So whenever they need to nurse, they're with the mother.
The white kitten that was stolen was hers. She named him Smudge. The other 2 kittens have owners lined up.
We're trying to do the best as we could by them. And I mean, it was only like a week off before he was going to be like ready to be separated.
She lives in an apartment off Piper's Creek near Culebra. She and her neighbor care for the cats, hence the food bowls and the blankets by their front doors.
I honestly don't see how they could think that he wasn't being taken care of, that he wasn't owned or anything like that.
Amanda gave the video to Grubhub and San Antonio police, who both confirmed with KENS 5 they are investigating.
It's understandable why you wanted him.
Needless to say, Amanda gave the driver a 1-star review.
It was 1 star, and the driver stole my cat, was the comment.
Alicia Nieves, KENS 5.
Now, the manager for policy communications at Grubhub told us they've suspended the driver in question while they investigate this incident. If you can help solve this case, call police.
That is crazy.
That is, I mean, dude, you had white Crocs on. You're going to be so easy to identify. I mean,
Well, and why steal a cat? I mean, I just don't get it, right? Why?
that makes no sense, because seriously, I mean, a cat. There are so many cats at the humane societies around.
I know.
That you can get.
If you want
I
a
mean,
cat, go get one of those
There's
cats.
plenty of it. They're not in short supply. It's
No.
they're
Ugh.
begging people constantly, I know, here to adopt the cats. We have, such a problem with so many cats that have to get put down. And
Yep.
yeah, I don't know why you would steal one. That, I mean, especially, people have cameras nowadays. I don't know why you would steal anything off anybody's porch these days. You're going to get caught. You just know you're going to get caught.
Well, yeah, and just but again, if stealing it, don't steal a cat.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's so.
People get
That
very
is
attached to
wrong.
their pets. I mean, very attached. Some people, that's their kids. I mean, they really, really get attached. And it doesn't seem like, it seemed like they were going to adopt these out, so they may not have been as attached.
Well,
but
she
still,
said that this was the cat she had picked for
Yeah.
herself.
Yeah.
You can kind of see that she was tearing up a little bit with
Yeah.
it. It almost felt a little fake. I don't know,
but,
but
yeah,
anyways, so-
just don't do stuff like that. That's what it comes down to. Don't do stuff like that. You're gonna get caught.
Absolutely. So this next one here is an interesting one. We actually don't have a there's a picture on it. This is another Reddit story. We don't have a picture to put up there, but it's a pretty cool one. It's a shout out to a local Arizona McDonald's franchise owner who did the cool thing
Yes.
of doing some delivery cards, if you will, what are they called? So basically, for all the drivers, the Uber Eats, the DoorDash,
like
and the Grubhub drivers, they would give them a card, and so every time they picked up an order, they would get a
stamp. Yeah.
a stamp, yeah. And then once they reach 5 orders, they get a prize, and they give a free meal. So that was kind of cool. So it says here, have your card punched or stamped when you pick up a delivery order. When you have 5 boxes, you'll get 1 combo meal free on your 6th pickup. And way to go. I mean, way to go.
That is excellent.
Thinking out of the box and getting people to pick it. We all know nobody wants to pick up the stupid McDonald's orders, right? I mean, every time you go there, there's like not hundreds, but there's lots of people, lots of orders at the places waiting to be picked up.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily what they really want, but way to think out of the box here. This is
kudos to the manager, definitely, because I know we've talked in our Telegram group, especially late at night. McDonald's is like the last place you want to go to pick up a food delivery. Like during the day, it's not bad here. I had a McDonald's order today, and they had it ready within 30 seconds of the time.
Okay.
And they do package it up well. I do like the way that McDonald's packages up, but a lot of places the service is not good, and you just get to where you don't want to pick up. But this gives incentive for drivers, besides the pay. It's just a little something they do to hey, we appreciate what you're doing, gives you incentive to pick up our orders from this particular McDonald's, and we just want to reward you a little bit with a little something.
Just make sure whatever meal you're getting is not one of the ones that wasn't picked up. It's a fresh one.
Exactly. Had been sitting there for 30, 45 minutes.
Pick any of those over there. They weren't.
Any from that shelf. You can pick from that shelf. It's like the fair. You can pick from the top shelf toys, not the bottom shelf.
Hey, there might be a chicken in there. I don't know.
Oh goodness,
that is so crazy. So, anyways, Larry, why don't you talk a little bit about this interesting Lyft ride here? I'm gonna
this interesting Lyft ride that I took. No, I did not take this, and I would never take this. First of all, this is a ride from Boston International Airport down to Norfolk, and it says 16 hours, and I don't know what navigation app they're using, but this is not the way you would go from Boston to Norfolk. You can go down the coast, and I just punched it into to Google or Apple Maps real quick when I saw this story, and it was like 10 hours. So first of all, there's at least 6 hours, but anyway, 10 hours, 6 hours, whatever it is, nobody in our group is going to take this.
But at least they get a $5 bonus. Come on.
There you go. $5 bonus. And hey, maybe you'll get a free meal from McDonald's, who knows? But I mean, I've always heard, I don't know if it's still true. I remember back in the day, they used to say that Lyft would cap the rides at 300. They wouldn't pay any more than that. I don't know if that was.
So maybe that's what it is. That's your $305, including a bonus.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. But who's going to? I mean, literally, who's going to do? 32-hour round trip?
No.
For $300. If I had another 0 or 2 on the end, I might think about it.
I mean, this is one of those rides that you immediately text them and say, hey, I'm going to need like $700 next to it as well.
Exactly. Up front.
Yeah, please.
In cash before we do this.
But I mean, let's even say that it was $1,000 or $1,300. Would you drive 32 hours? I mean, oh my gosh.
I mean, you're obviously you're going to have to stay in a hotel,
right.
You're going to drive 16 hours there. And I would have to think about it. I mean, 1,000.
I mean, you're gonna be out at least $200 to $300 in gas.
Yeah. Knowing me, I would probably do it.
But I mean,
I'm a little adventuresome, so I might do it. I might think about it anyway. But I would have to really think about it and see what's going on, figure out how much I'm going to make in gas and a hotel and all that.
Right.
So
no, But again, definitely make sure there's enough room. And obviously, a trip like this, even if it is a 10-hour, you're still gonna want to stay at a hotel room or something like that. And then
you don't want to be driving tired. That is not good at all. But
no.
I can't imagine even you wonder if it's a. Well, I was going to say you wonder if they put in the wrong address, but they're going to from airport to airport, so they obviously know where they're going.
I wonder if it was if one of their flights got canceled. Canceled or whatever, and they have to. I don't know. It might maybe it's an airline company that's I don't know. But it seems weird. That's many other airlines in between those two rights, right?
Oh sure, yeah. And like I said, that's just I don't even know. I don't think Lyft navigation would even take you that way. I mean, there's no reason you can't cut down through Connecticut and along the shore of New Jersey through Maryland down there and cut off a ton of time. But
that's true.
I don't know. Yeah, but I wonder what the longest ride I've ever taken was like 2.5 hours. I think probably up into Indiana to a casino.
Yeah.
It was a pretty sketchy ride.
Longest ride I've ever taken was to when I took to Chicago to the airport, and not the one I should have taken. But we won't get into that.
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
That's not beat that horse. Anyway, so here's another story from give me that one. Here's another story from the Reddit Lyft drivers. And it goes, I did my first Sneezeball thing. And I'm going to read it as it is because it's pretty interesting. It's not that long. But some of the people commenting grabs onto the real problem here with this story, and I kind of think caught to me as well. We'll see what you guys think. So I say Sneezeball as a term of endearment. No show feed packs that was here. I don't even know that it's yoga. I'm a part-time driver and drive in a smaller market that is oversaturated with drivers. So I take pretty much every ride I can get. 10 p.m. get a ride request. First thing I saw was a $56 ride. I accepted it. Pickup was a small town 25 miles north of my market. Drop-off was 50 miles further north from my market. Not a lucrative ride, but I figured I'm the only one nice/dumb enough to take it. I arrive in a small town. So I arrive in a small town. The road to take to the pickup is all tore up. No traffic allowed. No detour signs. I message the packs asking for a meetup point or direction to get to them. No response. I wander around and manage to find a back road to the packs. I arrived at the pickup. Pickup is on the outskirts of town. Appears to be a long driveway surrounded by trees. No way of identifying if I'm at the correct driveway, but I'm close enough for the app to recognize I'm within arrival distance. I message the packs that I've arrived and don't want to drive up the driveway unless they can confirm I'm at the right place. No response. I waited 4 minutes at this point. I have my windows down to hear if anybody walks up to the car. It's dark, can't see a house, only a gravel driveway surrounded by trees. I hear a person in the distance come out of the house. Not sure if this is my packs or not. At 4:50, I put the car in drive, slowly creep away from the driveway, make the mandatory call, let it ring once, and hang up. Mark the packs, a no-show, instantly hear, hey, wait, stop, I'm right here. I drive away and head back to my market. At least I got paid a $15 no-show fee for wasting an hour of my time. The person requested a ride again. Immediately, I declined it. The request circled back to me 2 more times that night. I doubt they got a ride. Do I feel bad? Hell no. The packs had zero respect for my time and patience. They had 25 minutes to see if I was on the way. 4 minutes from me. I waited 5 minutes at the pickup. I feel like I'm now officially a Sneezeball 2, and I'm okay with that. The first comment is, why the hell are you driving 25 miles to pick up at all?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the real problem here, right? No one, you shouldn't be driving 25 miles at all.
Yeah. What if you drive 25 and they're a no-show completely? You know?
I know. I remember the first time I drove. I was still young. I was young in the gig economy, and 20 minutes away from the Grand Rapids market is the TVSU market. That's the Grand Valley. And so I got caught out there, and I didn't really know direction or whatever. So I was heading out there, and I kid you not, I get out there, I pick up these two guys at a pizza place. And they literally had to go half a mile down the road, right? They waited 25 minutes for me to come pick them up, and they could have walked there in like 5 minutes. Yeah. But their story was they didn't know where they were going. They were brand new to the car. They didn't know where they were going. It's like, so it was like a 2 hours and 25 minutes. I made nothing on that ride, right? And I drove 22 minutes to get to them. So like, no.
Yeah, you remember those rides for sure. Yeah.
So don't ever drive. You don't drive 25 minutes to get anybody.
Yeah. I remember doing the same thing. Yes, but I mean, I hadn't been driving long, and there's a town south of us called Franklin. It's a small town, about 5,000 people, and got a call down there. This was back in the old day before we got to see anything about the ride. Really before we picked them up, and got a call down there one night, and it was kind of slow, and I was like, well, they're probably coming to Bowling Green. It's a Friday night, they're probably coming to Bowling Green. That'll be a good ride. I drive down there, and this dude like wants me to take him half a mile down to the Minute Mart to get his beer and then back. It's like a $4 ride, and you're like, no, never, not doing that again. Not doing that again.
I know you're not supposed to, but I started every time these rides get there now, I call them.
Ask them how far they're going.
I will go pick them up if they're going back to Grand Rapids. Then it's okay.
Yeah,
because then at least I get a 20-minute ride in one of the ways.
Yeah,
and I even started saying to people, I said, when I live like in between, so sometimes I start out there.
Yeah,
but then I'll tell people, I say, the first thing you should do if you get somebody to accept you is text the driver and say, I'm going downtown.
Right.
Or whatever. Just let us know how far you're going, because otherwise it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. And I've given people the same advice, tell them if they're doing a long trip or anything like that, or I've got people who had a dog it's not a service dog, things like that, which it doesn't bother me, but I'm like, you need to communicate with your driver before they get there, because
absolutely
they're not going to be happy if they drive all the way here and then they find out,
Nope.
this situation. So
So,
the more you
yep.
can communicate with them, probably the better off you are.
Absolutely. So do you want to grab the last story tonight?
I will get it, yeah, because this one hits close to home for sure.
Yep.
I don't know if we have a graphic for it or not, but
We do not. We do not.
okay, so this is about two people were arrested after sending police on a multi-county chase. Kentucky State Police Post was contacted by a police department in Franklin, Tennessee. So State Post 3 is in Bowling Green. Franklin, Tennessee is just south of Nashville, so it's about 70 miles from Bowling Green.
Yep.
So there was a stolen vehicle traveling through I-65 in Warren County, which is the county that I live in.
Okay.
So the vehicle had a live tracker on it, and so they were able to monitor it and track it, even when they didn't have police vehicles, immediately in the area. And the Franklin, Tennessee police informed the Kentucky State Police that the two suspects in the vehicle had robbed two separate Uber drivers in Tennessee at gunpoint. And then they had stolen a black 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe. The state police here saw it pass their cruiser at the 47-mile marker, which I live at mile marker 22. So they're about 20 miles past Bowling Green when they saw them. They pursued the vehicle at top speed of 140 miles an hour. So they were hauling ass. And the vehicle tried to exit the interstate at that same rate of speed and didn't manage to make that for some reason and crashed into a guardrail.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah. They arrested a young man, 22. They found a gun in the floorboard. They found pills. They found 2 Ziploc bags full of THC oil, marijuana, other drugs. So yeah, they were both charged with just a slew of different charges. But that's that's one of the reasons. Go ahead, Jesper. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say it's not the smart. They're not the brightest of the bunch, though, right? I mean, let me ask you a question. How much cash do you usually have on you when you drive Uber?
Exactly. We don't, I'll have maybe $20.
I know, right?
I don't carry a lot of cash. So yeah, robbing Uber drivers is
you might get the tip from the day.
Right. Exactly. It's not but a lot of times these aren't the sharpest crayons in the box.
No, they are not.
They're just not. But that's one reason, I don't drive a lot in Nashville. It's just, it's starting to get to be a bigger city, and it's having bigger city problems, and they're, they're starting to have more carjackings and things like that going on. And I just, I feel safer here in Bowling Green. I've lived here 50 years. I know the area, and I generally know, the people don't seem as wild, even though you can stay really busy in Nashville. But then again, we make more per mile here on Uber. They're doing the upfront pricing down there. So you put more miles on your car down there to make the same money or more. But
you do okay. You do okay.
Yeah, I do. Right? If I do fine. The only reason I'll go down there generally is if I've got like a big Lyft bonus that I need to do a bunch of rides. And I'll try not to go. I won't go like into Nashville city. I'll get on the outskirts, but generally, as soon as you get a ride, they're going to Broadway. They're going downtown. So, but now that the cancellation rates don't mean anything, or acceptance rates don't mean anything on Lyft, I'll cancel. I mean, I'll just let 20 of them go by until I get a short one. It doesn't matter anymore on Lyft.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next time. But that is very interesting. So that's about everything we have tonight, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We hit an hour and 5 minutes. This is crazy. Things go so fast. Thank you so much for staying on and for listening to me and Larry here. And hopefully Jason had fun tonight. I don't even know what he was doing.
He was very secretive about where he was
took
going.
The night off, at least. Took the night off. And that man deserves it, because he works many long hours to do all this that he's doing, except and all the other things that he's also doing for him and his family. So
he is a very hard worker for sure.
Deserves the night off. So thank you so much for the day. And
I want to mention real quick before we do our sign off, Jesper, don't forget the picnic. Everybody, we got the picnic coming up in September.
Gotta have the picnic.
What is it? The 27th?
20th, I think.
Is it? I can't remember.
I don't
It'll
know.
be sign up for the newsletter.
Jenna will know. Jenna will know.
Sign up. Yeah. Sign
How
up.
come I don't know? I'm
Sign
not
up
with it
for
tonight.
sign up for for the newsletter, and it will tell you exactly when the picnic's going to be. But look,
Yep.
I'm coming from Kentucky. We don't know about John. Maybe coming from North Carolina.
It's 23rd.
23rd. Okay, it was right in the middle of what we both said. So split the difference.
Thanks,
But,
Janet. Thank you.
Janet is coming all the way from New Zealand. So I mean, anybody else listening, you really have no excuse not to come to the picnic. It's a great time. We have a lot of fun. It's free food. You get to meet these famous people that put on this show. Jesper and Jason, and meet them in person, and get to hang out with them, and we'll shoot the breeze and swap stories, and they'll have prizes to give away, and it's always great food and a great time. We have a lot of fun on the picnic weekend.
And if you are listening to the podcast on as a podcast and not seeing the show, feel free to email us at team@grrightia. Well, hang on. No, that's the old name. Oh my God.
Hat threw you off, didn't it?
Yeah, I know it did. That's the thing. Team@gigeconomyshow.com, team@gigeconomyshow.com, and we'll recommend you hotels or anything like that. We can definitely figure something out. It's a lot of fun, and it's just an honor to kind of be able to meet you guys. So we hope you come for that.
And just want to say thanks again, Jesper. Thanks, Jason, for having me on the show. And thanks, everybody, for tuning in tonight. And remember what we always say, don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
And we'll see you on the road.